Alright, we're going to be moving on in a second to AROWS Workday Execution, or bringing in workdays into your resource report. But as promised, at the end of the last video when we were talking about wrapping up with the Deems General Ledger, I did add those slicers. They will be in the template. But just again, I can't overemphasize, now we've got all that set up in the background, downloading reports every morning or once a week or however often, but downloading these key reports, and now you have the ability to take a look at your status of funds or dig into your general ledger and select one EEC, something like this, and now we've got a roll up by that purchase order as we look at it. Or if you wanted to look at a specific let's say sales code or ESP code, now we're seeing the execution against that ESP code for the entire year as it goes across the stages of accounting. How about prior fiscal year things? For some reason I'm out of balance now. What is transacting against those years? It's just really powerful, saving a lot of time. Let me get down to like one purchase order itself, and just right there, purchase order, disbursement. Super powerful. So anyways, I won't spend any more time on this, but they are in there. And contract quarters, I can't help myself. This is so cool. How easy it is to see the complete execution of these programs throughout the year, following it cradle to grave, from loading funds to requisitions, purchase orders over time with the DOE voucher number. Huge benefit. Please take advantage. Now we're going to move on to workdays, which are very easy to do in terms of data integration. At least the high level is, but it makes a huge difference for us as well. So this is the AROWS Workday Execution Report out of AROWS. That's the one you'll be looking for. And the only thing we need to do in here, it is in the formulas, but it's super easy. So it's the days. A lot of times, and I may have spoken about this in an earlier video, a lot of times when numbers come out of a database, they'll come out as, and I hit escape so I lost my copy there, they will come out as values. And the way you can tell that, paste special transpose, expands my table for me. The way you can tell their values is that if it's a number, it looks just like a number, right? It's aligned to the left. Well, typically text is aligned to the left. If you think about it, you write a sentence or a paragraph starting from left to right, and the numbers are aligned to the right. So this is telling you it's text because it's aligned to the left. If it were aligned to the right, it would say, hey, I recognize this as a number, and you can always come and check up here to see. This 1335, if you remember about dates, 1335, if I looked at short date, that's an actual date in Excel. So it's seeing a number still. It doesn't recognize it as anything but text. So what we're going to do is use a function called the value function. So equals VAL. Come over here to issue days, close it off, and it's just that easy. It's converting these from text to values, and it's fully automating it, and that's the point here. There are other ways to do this, but this is going to be pulling in your data every morning. It automates it. We're going to build our reports. I did not complete the formula, so it gave me an error. Obligated days, and finally equals VAL and balance of days. So now we got something to work with. Perfect. Alright, so we're ready to go with the AROWS Workday execution. I'm going to hit Alt-NV. We're going to want a new tab. And while that's thinking, you see how it's thinking a little more because there's a lot going on. Again, an entire fiscal year, and I'll show you this here. This is the size of the file. 17.2 megs is what this is. And we've got calculations going on. I regularly work with files that are much bigger than that. The little bit of a lag that you experience for the power that you're getting out of these reports, in my opinion, is so well worth it. Definitely keep going with these. So AROWS Workdays, I'll just title it, may shorten that up in the future. Drag this over here because it's a report tab. Taking a second. If you have a better computer, I would say that the computer I'm working on now is probably standard desktop computer. So at the end of a fiscal year, you may experience the same slight lag, but again, I would take it in a heartbeat. So a couple different things we can do with these Workday reports, or ways we can look at them. One would be like your Workday documents, right? So we get a Workday document and we want to make sure that we are balanced to our Workday document. So we've got these things. We've got our Work Center. Well, that's a cool report, and I think I'm going to use that. But first, I want to look at work description. So when you look at your Workday document, they're going to come down like this, right? So they're going to issue them in terms of ADOS, FTNGD, AFTP, AGR, maybe not AGR, but ATP. So these are your bottom line numbers, and they issue them how? As officer and enlisted. So what we want to do is take advantage of what they've given us, officer and enlisted. Let's go ahead and do our normal formatting routine here. Tabular. I can't off the top of my head exactly remember how it will come out with the AROWS data, but I'm going to do my normal formatting that I do. I've put enlisted and officer across, and then I'm just going to go use our values, the ones we created: issued, committed, obligated, balance. Highlight these so that they are numbers. We don't need decimals because days don't come in decimals, so you could come up here and just say general like that, or if you like that decimal in there, you can select decimal, but just get those zeros out of there. We do not need that at all. So right now what we're looking at is we have a balance of work days for both for enlisted and officer for everything we've gotten out of AROWS. You can actually simplify it a little more if you'd like to. I'm going to continue with my formatting here. Right click, format cells. The beauty of this is you only need to do it once. So and I will turn on, in this case, grand totals for well, you can if you'd like or not. It doesn't really make much sense to turn on that. Oh, look at all those sums. Go back to using this trick, so to speak. Sum of, replace that with nothing. Replace all, clean that up, say okay. I typically highlight these and center them. And another fun thing we can do, or another trick, so to speak, highlight. You see how that's pointing down like that? Right click, format cells, outline. Right click, format cells, outline. Kind of set those two apart. And now what we can do, we can keep all these commit obligated. We can even take these out. Just click and drag these and throw them off to the side. Isn't that what your funding document says, right? That's what's been issued in each type. We can add in WOOC if we wanted to, because we're going to see it that way. And we can add in some slicers as well. I think the template's going to come out looking something like this to show that overall. And then we're also going to do something else. So check this out. I am going to analyze, select entire pivot table, copy it. Normally we do not want to put one pivot table on top of itself or right below another one in case it expands, but I'm really pretty comfortable that I'm not going to get too many different types of days than this, so I'm okay with this. We're going to share the same cache. So when this one updates, it updates this one automatically. And I'm going to bring in now Work Center, because when I'm operating on a daily basis at home, the Work Centers mean a whole lot to me. And I will bring in the, let's see, the WOOC here. Alright, so do you like to look at it like that? Maybe, maybe not. Perhaps it matters more to you that we take this WOOC description so that we're looking at each type of day for your squadrons. You can do it either way. It really is up to you. See how that's blue like that? Remember that step, row headers? Boom, just like that. Right click, display, take that out. There we go. In this one, I definitely am going to add in commit obligated balance, just like that. Quick formatting, again, it remembered. Yep, and close. Let me hide this. Hide field list. So now, let's go ahead and subtotal this one here, and just like that, guys, Alright, how sweet is that? You've got everything down to all of these different looks. Maybe you don't need to know all these details. Maybe your budget analyst sees this and is like, sweet, I want that. No problem. It's really easy. The next thing, last thing, is we're going to throw in some slicers in here. So insert slicer. I want to be able to slice and dice by work center. Let's do Wook for sure, and let's do officer enlisted, and let's do workday type. Is that the right one? We'll see. Okay, so I'm going to show you a separate trick here with slicers. I'll just keep it. Yeah, see, workday type. I don't want that one, but you might. So I actually wanted Wook description, so let's go back in here and add Wook description. It's really pretty easy. Put that next to itself. Alright, we'll get our Wook situated. And we'll of course make these look a lot nicer for the template, but I'm just trying to give you the idea here of how to build this. Change it yourself if you want to. Once you get the template, highlight these four, group them, right click on that, size and properties. Please do not move them whenever I change the pivot table. And then one thing here, let's find this report connections. You see how it's selected on that? It's going to say I'm selected in this slicer right here, just the one on the far right. If it's the same cache, we made a pivot report out of the same data, the raw data right here. I'm going to connect these slicers. Alright, I'm going to come in here and make sure that I'm connected on all of these, selecting each individual one, and connect here. And what that allows me to do, there's so many applications for this, guys, is to slice and dice both reports at the same time. And you can see how, as I do that, these other filters filter for me. So in terms of just clicking and doing normal day-to-day processes, just a huge time saving to just click a few buttons and you're just ready to roll. Last thing I'll mention, we haven't unselected, when I right click in here in pivot table options, I haven't unselected auto fit column widths on update. Now the reason, at least from my experience, the reason why you'd want to do this, I'm going to unselect this here and hit OK. So what this is going to do is going to force me to pretty much, I'm going to make sure I'm unfiltered, select all of these and double click so that it expands, and see how these are longer names than up here, so it's going to do that. Once you're comfortable, if I were to right click and refresh, if that auto fit were in there, it would have auto fit this real quick and made it smaller, and then it would have come down here and auto fit it and made it bigger. So it does this one first, then this one, because if we look in here, it says pivot table 4, pivot table 5. So it's going to refresh 4 and then 5, and then it'll get your formatting all out of whack. So I turn off that auto fit in this case. I want to make sure that and these slicers are linked together, and that way I can have complete access to all my work days from a high level. As soon as you make changes, updates in your AROWS, you can download the report again, refresh it, and take a look. It's just going to be right in front of you guys. Okay, that is it for this video. The next video, I'm going to go through a daily routine, so to speak, just to kind of wrap it up, to give a different comfort level. There was a lot of information, so the daily routine really is downloading data, pulling it in, let this tool do all that calculation work for you, and then you're off to analyzing, and that's the goal. We'll see you then.